We're live and it is Friday night. Friday Night Pint is here and I am joined with Brian on this glorious transfer deadline day. Cheers, Brian.
Nice
and
one,
I'm
pal.
assured that Scott and Ryan will be here to see what West Ham are going to do. There's been rumours of incomings. There's been rumours of outgoings. Nothing official yet. It's a weird one. And the clock is ticking. A few hours left, mate.
Yeah, for sure. The clock is.
Who's looking at your clock to make sure the
I am. I'm doing the countdown, man. But do you know what? I think like this is one of the transfer windows that's been exciting a little bit because the last few have been like really boring, like all round, not just exclusively West Ham, just generally nothing ain't been going on.
Summer especially was brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. So this one at least has been exciting. We've done our business early, and it seems like we started off the day in that vein as well, with regards to Soler coming in and the surprise of James Ward-Prowse going out. It seems like I think he's passed his medical down there at Forest, so he's as good as gone. What's your views on that, Dan?
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we get into that. That is a weird one. We'll get some. Evening, Miss Amaret, by the way. And yeah, people loving the shirt. That is. Do you know what that is? One of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Yeah, man. 99 is a real. This is from 99 as well. Like literally, it is
Feeler.
Yeah.
Feeler. Like, I feel like we didn't have Feeler for long, but
it's true.
Yeah. It was a good one. Okay, so we had an update. Soler has passed his medical. That's breaking news. Arsenal signed jack shit. Apparently Sterling might be going to him, but yeah, it's a lot to get. Obviously, Scott and Ryan are going to join in on this on this chat. But yeah, the Ward-Prowse one for me. I had a bit of a chat on the Twitters with a few fans. I was not a fan of this sale. It didn't make too much sense to me. Looking at Ward-Prowse, I'm not saying that he's, one of our best players or anything, but we've let him go out on loan, no obligation. He's going to be at Forest for a year. Then we get him back and he's got a year left on his contract, which means he can just run that down and we lose him for nothing, or we've got to sell him at a massive cut price because we don't have any leverage. I feel like there's value, there's sale value in Ward-Prowse, and he's someone I'd have been happy to keep. Like between him and Souček, Ward-Prowse can pass the ball, he can press, he can cross. He has the more attributes of a midfielder that I think would benefit us, and I would have just liked to get a fee. We get his wages off the book theoretically. I don't know if they're paying the whole thing, but yeah, I get we want to make way for Soler, but surely there was other players we could have moved on ahead of Ward-Prowse. It just seems a bit desperate, like, oh shit, we've got to get these players off. So disappointing for me.
That's exactly what I was going to say in terms of it does feel like a desperate one. It feels like a desperate move. At the same time, it's one of those ones where I feel the fan base got this one wrong completely. I think all of us said if it was a straight shootout between him and Souček's going to be the one that's moving on. After the first 3-4 games, we've seen that Souček seems to be playing a key part in this team under Lopetegui's tactics. And I think Ward-Prowse had his audition in the cup game against Bournemouth. And again, it was kind of classic Ward-Prowse in terms of he didn't really do much wrong. But at the same time, he wasn't one of the players that grabbed the ball by the horns and really sort of dictated the play and controlled the game. So it's a shame. Do you know what I mean? He kind of played safe, I feel. And I think maybe he kind of had his chance. Maybe the managers had a little look at him and has had to weigh up with people he's looking to bring in. Will Ward-Prowse be someone that's going to be starting? And it might be based on that, in terms of you know what, he is a good player and he shouldn't be someone that's sitting on the bench. But I agree with you, like business-wise, it don't really make good business sense.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out Gary Price. He bought me and the lads a beer when we was at the Roundhouse, my local pub, when we went and did some filming. You may see he's the West Ham fan who held up his West Ham prosthetic leg in all the pictures.
Yeah.
Top bloke. Top bloke. Dean, I've just seen his comment. He says, shout out Dean. He says, no, that wasn't the one. But okay, Rodriguez signs forced him out. To me, Rodriguez, I think, is a slightly different player. I know there's a good chance he'd be playing alongside Alvarez, but I still think he's a little bit more defensive midfielder. Like, I saw him as cover for Alvarez rather than Alvarez's partner, like when everyone's fit. So it just seems like, I know Moyes frustratingly played Ward-Prowse as a defensive midfielder at periods of the season, but he ain't a defensive midfielder. So that's a weird one. But the question was, who's our best set piece taker now Ward-Prowse has gone? Well, I think even with Ward-Prowse, it was Danny Ings, because he's the only fucking person who scored a free kick in how many years at this football club. Granted, it's in pre-season.
You know what the joke is, Dan, right? I guarantee you, well, of course, what's going to happen? He's going to go Forest and he's going to basically score a free kick first game or something, isn't it?
He is. Like, he's going to break the record there. It's just, it so frustrates me. That really, at least he can't score one against us because of the loan situation.
Yeah.
But so it's not like, so it's not an option. They can just have him for a season and we can go, all right, 15 million. They go, nah, fuck, like, we ain't having him. Like, there's no clause, nothing. Like, we've been really good at signing players this season, but terrible at selling. And I don't know whether that's because of the job we're doing this season in terms of selling players, we're not doing good enough, or because of the horrific job we've done with recruitment in the past. Ings, 15 mil, over 100 grand a week. Ward-Prowse, 100 grand a week. Cornet, like 70 or 75 grand a week. Like, I think Aguerd is on serious money. Obviously, talks of him going Sociedad. We'll talk about that. It's tricky. It's frustrating, and it just shows you we got to move away from that sort of business.
Definitely overinflation when it comes to the wages. That's part of the reason why some of those guys came to us, attractive, desirable contracts. But as you said, it's just put us in a real sticky position when it's come to moving them on.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I just don't want to see these type of signings again. I mean, that's we're selling like decent, okay players, and just putting them on big wages. Like, why? Like, why is Danny Ings on such big wages? Why is Ward-Prowse? And I've just said I'd keep him, and he's decent, but he's not 100 grand a week player. Nowhere near should James Ward-Prowse be on £100,000 a week. What are we doing, or what were we doing at this football club? Like, Chelsea are actually, and listen, they're I don't know what is going on at Chelsea, but one thing I will say for their transfer business is they're lowering their wage bill and they're capping it at like 150 grand a week. Like, so, and really trying to be tight on that wage bill. If you're going to a Danny Ings or Ward-Prowse and they're going to want 100 grand a week to join your football club, see you later. Like, mad. Because now we can't move them on. Because they're on massive wages.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well. It's just put us in that position. I actually feel, right, even with the clock ticking down and stuff, I am confident. I feel there will be maybe a couple more coming in. I think once some of the interest of the players that are being sold actually go through, then I feel we will be getting a couple more in. I could see us getting someone at the back and potentially someone up top. But that's probably where it's been a bit quiet today, isn't it? In terms of the rumours around the strikers. There hasn't really been no sort of rumours about that I've heard of anyway, about any of them lot going.
No, that's the thing. And, centre-back, if we're letting Aguerd go, we need a replacement. We can't just have 3 senior centre-backs. No. So I don't see the eagerness to move him on if we haven't got someone coming in. So we'll see whether that's Chalobah. There's still the rumours floating about Chalobah potentially coming in. Gravy, good old Gravy, with a €5.99 super chats for all the way from Ireland. Don't know about Jules wanting James Ward-Prowse out. Set piece passing, and I honestly thought he should have been made vice captain. Felt he still had a lot to offer, and out of last season, he was one of the only players that was pressing and pressing well. We got goals from his pressing, and now we play a pressing game. I'm not saying that would have been vital to us this season, but I feel like he fits this team more than Souček does.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. This is why I think as a fan base, we've all got it wrong, I feel, because we all felt it would be Ward-Prowse over Souček. And I agree with you in terms of his pressing and stuff. He's fallen in a situation whereby in terms of the system that we're seeing from Lopetegui so far, it's a straight swap between him and someone that's been deemed a key player, which is either Souček or someone else that would play in that sort of advanced role. And I think because of that, he from the manager's point of view, it looks like he wasn't going to get a look in. So what I'm more interested to see is with Soler coming in, like how things are going to pan out. Is he going to be like an automatic starter? And if so, in whose place? Would the system then change? With the fact that we're playing this 4-1-4-1 system, which is debatable to some, are we playing that because of the personnel we got? Is it a thing where Soler comes in and then things might change because he is a ball-playing midfielder? So that could change how we might progressively play, because the big problem so far this season has been the midfield. There's been no continuity. There's been no connection between defense and attack.
No creativity.
Yeah, no creativity at all. And in fact, what we're seeing is we're just seeing like this long ball. Although we're playing a little bit more possession football in sort of like non-threatening areas and like passing it around the back and stuff. To me, it's clear that it's definitely a managerial instruction, this long ball that's being played, because it's very strategic how it's being played. Yeah.
Was you at the Bournemouth game, Brian?
No, I didn't go to that one.
I don't know if you noticed this on the TV, right? But me and Scott picked this up almost instantly. When Todibo was on, we was playing a lot more out at the back.
Yeah.
When Mavropanos come on, Mavropanos every time long,
boom,
long.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's Mavropanos can't play out the back and Lopetegui has instructed him when you get it, pump it long, or it's just Mavropanos' instincts is to pump it long. But I did notice as soon as Mavropanos come on, the long balls increased.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the reason is for that.
And that strategy just wasn't working at all for that game, because Souček was playing deeper as well for that game. He wasn't playing in as advanced as he was in previous games. So it was just a waste of time doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, but to me, it definitely seems like an instruction, because it's happened in every single game. It's the same pass that's being played.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. Honestly, there's so much to talk about. This Soler 2-year loan deal, that's an interesting one. Clearly, and I'll sort of jump on your point when you were saying about Soler as well, because I actually think I'm sure I can see him playing alongside Alvarez. Alvarez, the defensive midfielder, Soler, the centre midfielder, going to be going basically more maybe box to box, playing more forward, involved in creating and linking. So Alvarez will hold, but again, it depends. I think different games, you'll potentially different setups depending on who we're playing. So we'll see. But the 2-year loan deal, I mean, it's clear it's a player that we've wanted to sign. Like we're interested in him, but finances have meant we try to do a loan deal now. A 2-year loan deal, geez, I mean that's really financially benefit, because then it's like next season we don't have to factor him in. Like if he does good, I'm not sure if anyone can let me know. I think there's no obligation on Soler, but I'm not 100% on that. If someone can check that, let us know. Is the Soler loan deal an obligation or an option or none?
Someone can tell us. I think it might be an option, about 20 mil, I think. But again, someone can correct us on that.
Yes. Steve, thank you for the super chat. What's going on with these draws, colleague corruption? You know what? I'm going to put a pin in that, Steve. I'm going to keep that in the starred column, and we're going to come back to that. So much Honestly, so much to talk about. Ward-Prowse, 7 goals and 7 assists. Not bad last season, yeah. Considering he was playing so deep a lot of the time, wasn't it? Moyes had him really deep.
Yeah, definitely. He had a great start to the season as well. You know, he had a great start to the season, and there was literally
this is how different the chat is. how he's a set piece merchant. He didn't score any set pieces, but he got 7 goals and assists.
Well, that's the thing. I think the downfall of Ward-Prowse was the change of system and the change of position that he was then forced to put. He was put in by Moyes, and I think that just kind of changed it. With Ward-Prowse, what you're going to get basically a steady Eddie who is going to do the simple things and do them really well. He's hardly going to give away the ball, and there is an element of him being a bit pragmatic. But if you play him in the right combination, I feel he can definitely have a positive impact on the team, utilizing his strengths, which we all know what his strengths are, but then also enhancing some of that the more creative players around him, you know. But I think because in terms of the creativity side of it, where that is probably one of our downfalls, it's like a weak area within our side. If you take out Paquetá, then there ain't really much creativity. Kudus makes his own chances by going on mazy runs and stuff like that. But someone sort of having that little cuteness with 1-2s and stuff like that, it's a bit of an area that we lack in our side. So I think we've got a lot of the same old. So when you see certain combinations, it really comes to the forefront. So if you see like a Southcheck and a James Ward-Prowse in the same midfield in the same game, we do really look like we lack ideas. So, you know, I guess it had to be one in, one out. And yeah, as I said, we've all got it wrong. We all thought it would be Southcheck.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Someone said, I don't know what he has on managers. Like, and listen, I love the idea of Souček. Like, I love the man Souček. Like, he just seems like a great guy. He gives it his all, which is what you want to see as a fan. Nothing against that. It's just his ability as a midfielder, I question, you know, to be able to do that role as a midfielder. You know, I've said it so many times before. So it's nothing personal against him. I just think in how we want to play, I just don't see him as the best option in midfield, especially starting there. Like, so it's just baffling that, you know, maybe we're all wrong, and it's one of them ones where he does things that we don't notice, and you've got to be a manager or, you know, in football to really see it. But yeah, so it's a weird one. Yeah, so many signings and income. We've been linked with Reece Nelson, and with the club are deciding whether we want to do it. If it at this stage, you have to think about if you want Reece Nelson or not. Don't sign Reece Nelson.
You wouldn't take him,
what do you make of that? You take him.
Do you know what? I would personally take him, but the difficulty for players like Reece Nelson, this is the same with Chalobah as well, right? So, say like Chalobah, because it's the same point I'm going to make with Reece Nelson. People think the Trevor Chalobah thing is is pretty much a done deal if we lose a centre back, right? But then what you got to do, you basically got to convince a player to come in to play second fiddle, you know, be the third or potentially fourth choice centre back. So he's moving from one club being on the bench, or not even on the bench anymore in the reserves, to then moving across London and pretty much sitting on another bench. That really sort of depends on the player's mentality. Reece Nelson, it's the same sort of thing. He wouldn't come in and basically be a starter. So just looking at what El Chico's saying there. So that's interesting. Going to Ipswich, yeah?
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about it at all, because he's Ipswich. Yeah, like, I think they've done some decent business.
Yeah,
this window. Obviously, they picked up Ben Johnson for free. I think they've done enough to have a serious go at staying up, making a serious attempt at staying up. So listen, good on them. But yeah, it wasn't the one for me, really. Like I said, I really wanted to see a pacey striker come in, like we spoke about on post-match pint a few weeks ago. the centre midfielder, which we're getting, and then the centre back. Those were the three signings I would have liked to still make. I wasn't as greedy to ask for a left back. That would have been lovely, but I guess I'm asking too much there.
The thing is, as well, like, what was I going to say? Literally, it's slipped my head. But no, I'm with you. A striker, I just feel would be ideal just to have that option. But in order to do that, we would obviously have to lose someone.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's not being able to get the likes of things. Obviously, Cornet is supposed to be going to Southampton on loan. So I'm not sure if that's official yet or how close that is. Ings is been linked with Southampton. But again, all we can do really is loan our players out. Like it's a real shame, but if we get their wages off the books, and it's going to help us within the profit and sustainability for this calendar year and all of that stuff. So let me just tweet that out. And yeah, so thoughts on Chukwuemeka. That's obviously we're linked between us and Man United. Between that, I think Chelsea tried to use Chukwuemeka as part of the deal for Sancho. Man United said no, he's not part of the deal. We want cash. So I think we are the option. Like if we want him, if we can do a deal, that's an option. Would you make a Chukwuemeka?
I think for me, it's one that sort of makes sense for both clubs and the player. I'm not personally a massive fan, but I think he does have a lot of potential. He's someone that definitely would need a run of games. He kind of fits into that mold of if he played, where exactly would he fit in? Because he definitely wouldn't start. So he would be used as a utility player. If we lose Cornet, which pretty much looks like we will, it is a great replacement. He's also got youth on his side. He's pacey. He's dynamic. In fact, out of the 2 goals he scored, he's only got the 2 Prem goals. He was against us, isn't it? The first one was against us last season when they played us. He scored that cracker from like the left-hand side. But yeah, I think he's a good player, but I think he's another one where I think price and everything. I'm not saying that this is anything to do with money because it's not, but Chelsea bought him for big money, didn't they? From Villa, they bought him for big money, and they were paying for potential, and it just didn't, for whatever reason, it didn't stack up. But yeah, I would take it, especially if we do lose Cornet. I think that would be a nice little replacement, and it keeps our options in terms of wide, but also like number 10 options. It keeps it nice and fluid as well. So that I'd be up for it.
Yeah. I've just seen the footage of Ward-Prowse turning up at the City ground for his Forest move. A lot of people talking about apparently either someone said Aguerd is off, or you can see Aguerd being off. Yeah, it is late. The Sociedad. I mean, sometimes you can apply for extensions and all sorts of things. But I wouldn't be mad if it was off because I haven't seen any concrete talk of us getting a centre back. Like we said, Chalobah's gone Palace. So what centre back are we getting? I think. Look, he had a terrible season last year. Aguerd, he had a really bad season. He struggled with fitness initially. He come back, and he just made errors leading to goal. And looking at it, I think this season, if we had him as a backup to Kilman, I'm not mad at that. And I think he'd probably suit Lopetegui a bit better than he did Moyes as a ball playing centre back. So I'm not mad. If we keep him, to be honest, if we're not getting anyone else in, I would rather do that.
100%. He's had a good look at him over pre-season. I think he's had a decent pre-season as well. I've actually been surprised that he's not featured on the bench for any of our games so far, which is a clear indication that he doesn't feature in the manager's plans. But again, like you, I would not be mad if nothing comes through and we have him as pretty much cover for Max Kilman on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's it. And do you know what the funny thing is? I was saying, like during the Bournemouth game to Scott, is Aguerd can play left back, like, but we've just never seen. It's same as a Bonner. Like we always said, Bonner can play left back. We never saw it. And I'm not saying like he should be our plans as our first choice left back, but with how light we are there, why have we just never tried that? Like we've never just explored that as an option anytime. And also, if Lopetegui wants to play a back five, which I think he will in certain games, maybe Sunday, you need more than 3 centre backs. Like, not to play the back five, but you need more than 3 to be able to play it. And if someone gets injured, you bring on an Aguerd. So, I mean, it's a win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we look at his strength. He's a good ball playing defender. I don't even know what it is why it hasn't worked out for him. He's been a little bit weak in the air on occasions, but he has actually scored a few goals with his head. But his passing was really good. He used to do some of those good sort of like long diagonal passes. So he's like very good on the ball. And I just don't know why it never worked out for him. I thought with Lopetegui coming in, I actually thought he was going to be in a position to kind of resurrect and get a place within the team. Had a good run out pre-season and did pretty well. But
thank you, by the way, Rich, for the £5 super chat. He's a man of very few words, no words, but we appreciate you all the same, Rich. A lot of talk coming in that we turned down Nelson. We thought about it and we said, nope, go down to Ipswich, get on them tractors and knock yourself out. So good on the club. Like I said, I know, Brian, you would have been happy with that one, but I just think it's not what we need. I think it's not what we need at this stage. And hopefully, like I said, we can prioritize some other players, get some other deals in. Let me get some other comments that I starred. I'm messing it up here. JT says, I guess no Duran. That's the disappointment. That it looks like that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you know, I thought it would have suited us, and it's mad, you know, when you think about it. We got Fulkrug, and I'm not writing off Fulkrug yet. A lot of people are writing off Fulkrug, but you think we just pay that extra bit of money, and I know like. The fee that is being reported for Fulkrug that we paid is a lot more than the real fee, apparently. Still, even if we had to chuck an extra 15, like I think we should have got Duran, and it seems like it's a bit late now, and we're gonna regret it.
Do you reckon it's one of those ones where we're going for him when his contract runs down? Because I think he wants to leave Villa, but I think he's going to stay there. But I think he's going to be in a situation, you know, come January where teams will be able to kind of negotiate with him contract-wise. So I reckon we'll go back in for him. I don't think we'll get him this window. It's highly unlikely, but I think we'll definitely be sniffing around.
Trying to see when his contract does run out. Let's see. If we can find that out, that would be helpful. He might have I think he has 2028. Okay, that's not... I don't want to wait that long, Brian. I don't want to wait that long, 4 years.
No, do you know what? For some reason, I thought his contract was one of those ones where he had a year to 18 months left. So I got that one wrong.
Yeah, but it's a tough one. Like obviously, Villa, they were linked with a lot of different strikers in this window. Didn't get any of them, so. It's a shame. And as El Chico points out, we have 3 strikers, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like the Ings signing has been an unequivocal disaster. One of the worst, and this is saying something. One of the worst signings I've ever seen at West Ham, without a doubt. Brought nothing.
And you know what? That's no disrespect to Danny Ings personally, because he's a great guy and he's a decent player, but it just didn't work.
Not through lack of effort from his part. It's just, it's our fault. It's our fault. We looked at him and just misprofiled him. We've brought him in, put him on big wages, and I don't know what we were expecting from him, to be honest with you. Like we never played to his strengths, and what did we get for it? And it's not worked out at all. I'm really, just that's one we going to be kicking ourselves. And like now, it's affecting us. It's when you can't get rid of them. That's what frustrates me. Is when you're like, do you know what? I don't want this player anymore. Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, because no one wants to pay no one else is as dumb as you are to pay him over 100 grand a week to do nothing. So that's really cost us. So and the problem is you look at the strikers that we've got and the profile, like Fulkrug, Ings, Antonio, all over 30.
Yeah.
Lacking pace. Antonio used to have pace, but it's going. Antonio is more different to Fulkrug than Ings, and Ings and Fulkrug are to each other, but not different enough to completely give us another dimension like Duran would have. So, I'm not thrilled with our options up top.
No, definitely. And, we had the rumours earlier on in the week with Tammy Abraham, which, depending on who you listen to, the club and all their sources were denying that. The media in Italy were really pushing for it. It's one of those ones where I wouldn't be surprised if something did happen. But, if you take away Tammy Abraham's injury record, particularly with the cruciate what he done last year, would he be someone that you would take if he would you be happy if the club did a little 5 minutes to go and then he's down having a medical? Would you be all right with that?
If it was like a loan deal, I'd be happy with him on loan. But if we signed him and spent money and paid I think that'd be terrible business, because I honestly rate him. I do rate Tammy Abraham, and a fit, informed Tammy Abraham, I think, would be excellent. But he seems to have had a lot of injury problems and his form has dipped. So I think it'd be another sort of dead weight that we can't sell if we did get him. So a loan, and that's what we need to try and explore, like if there are strikers on loan. But Tammy Abraham, he wouldn't be it. It's so funny that, you know what, and it's completely unrelated to what he's saying, Dobster. It's all about Danny Ings here and them trying to let fringe players go. I saw tweets. There was 5 years ago. There was talking about us. Was it 5 years? I think it was it? Yeah, it might have been 5 years ago or something. Talk about us activating the release clause for Jamie Vardy. And those are West Ham fans go, nah, he's washed up. He's too old. He's this, he's that. And then, you know what I mean? He's still banging in goals in the Premier
40.
League at 40. And we've got players that are like 10 years younger than him and he can't fucking score to save their lives. And it's geez, I mean, the amount of times we've just missed out on Jamie Vardy, and what he's doing is mad. Billy Barrett says, the thing is, Dan, we have a better medical staff here. I think we could get a lot out of Tammy Abraham. I mean, that's a good point, is touch wood, compared to what we used to be, injury-wise, we're doing a lot better. We do seem to be getting the most out of players like that. And obviously Antonio was one, wasn't he? Hamstrings all the time.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't know if that, do you think with these that they're doing something in training or their lifestyle, or it's that they're having to change the way they play to not get these injuries? Because I say that because I noticed there's Antonio, since he's not been injury ridden, just doesn't seem to have that same impact and that same consistent, potency and the same pace that he did have. Like, he's playing in a way to prevent the injuries. I don't know. This is just me guessing. I have no knowledge.
No, I agree. He obviously was it about 3 seasons ago, and he changed his diet and stuff in order to counteract some of the injuries that he was getting on a regular basis. But like you said, he seemed to have lost something with that happening. But I think one of the things we can see with Lopetegui as well is that he's not afraid to make changes. In all of the games, he's made at least 4 or 5 substitutions which is great, and that's something that we didn't see under the last manager. And that's another thing that will keep the fringe players engaged in like all of the games that are happening, and it also keeps players fresh as well. So that's going to be a good thing. We're going to see a lot of the squad being used throughout the campaign, which is good.
Yeah, I think that's actually key, and that's one thing. Yeah, like I've enjoyed is the substitutions and getting players to come on and get minutes, because that's, I mean, how are they going to get a chance to challenge for the first team for the first starting 11? I mean, if they don't even get options or minutes off the bench. Billy Barrett says Ings actually scored some bangers. Remember last season he came on, he was 1-0 down, and he come on and scored 2 in 10 minutes with a disallowed goal, so he could have had a hat trick. Yeah. That was, didn't he scored 2 in 10. Yeah. And then that was it. I think he had one in a cup game or in Europe or something. Like,
yeah.
And that's it. And then a great free kick in pre-season. He scored a free kick and Ward-Prowse hasn't.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it just me? And it might just be me, but it just seems like goals from free kicks are rarer these days. I don't feel like I'm not seeing them as much as I used to.
No, it's happening, man. It's just from a West Ham point of view, it's not. Do you know what I mean? But outside of that,
do you
free
think?
Kicks? Yeah, they are, man. They are. But not from our point of view at all. I couldn't tell you. The last free kick I remember was Creswell against Man United at home. That's the last one I can remember, and that was about 3 seasons ago. I think we won that 2-1. I think
maybe I was just spoiled with Pyatt, Maybe
yeah.
But even it felt like Creswell would bang. Someone said like who's our best set piece taker? It probably is Creswell.
Yeah, from a dead ball situation.
Yeah, like that. That's a problem. Jared Bowen is definitely always going to be on corners when he's on the pitch.
Yeah,
I don't like that. He's not great at corners. Like
Ward-Prowse,
remember the first game he come on and I see his first corner and I was like, oh my God, we've been missing this for so long. Like our corners have been shocking.
And the thing is, if we play like certain players, we've got a big side. If you look at the side that started against Bournemouth, you literally had 5 of our biggest guys in that game. You had the 2 centre-backs. You also had Alvarez, Soucek, and then Fulcru as well. So you had 5 huge guys. When we had like dead ball situations, you could really see there was a size difference. So, yeah. Because Arsenal got a massive side in terms of like height and stature. They got a really big side, and I think like for us, that's an element we could use like to dominate games if we play like certain personnel. I wouldn't be mad in seeing sort of like the Alvarez and Rodriguez combination. Maybe not necessarily. There's a couple of ways you can do it as a 2 sit-in, or you see the thing is with Alvarez, he does like to. He's someone who is a defensive midfielder, but who thinks he's like an attacking midfielder sometimes because he always likes to bring the ball out, holds onto the ball probably a couple of seconds longer than he actually needs to. So you could play him slightly ahead, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them ones like, honestly, it's options. I think we've got a lot of options. We are just going to have to find, I say we, Lopetegui, as the coach, is going to have to find a way to get the best out of our strikers. He's going to have to find a way to create for them because Fulkrug, he got some stick, I see, at the Bournemouth game, but I just don't feel like we really created anything for him. And you can't be mad at him not creating anything for himself because, I mean, he said it when he come here. I feed off service. I don't create anything myself. Like, you should know that's the type of player we're getting. So you need to set the team up to give him that service, give him those chances. You're not going to do that by just pumping it long and expecting him to hold it up and go past players and do the Antonio job.
And that's what I was surprised about. I looked at the team lineup and I weren't mad at the lineup. I thought that's decent. It was an opportunity for Somerville to make his mark. Somerville and Bowen out wide. You kind of wanted to see some runs in behind, some crosses getting whipped in. But we didn't see that, and the team sat a little bit deep throughout the game, really. And in the majority of the first half, Bournemouth seemed like the home team. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think, you know what I mean? I just feel, Dan, if I'm honest, it's going to take time for him and the players to kind of really bed down and understand his philosophy. And I think the good thing is as well, is that the more the guys get to play with each other and find out what's what, the more opportunity we're going to hopefully see some of the things that we've been hoping for in terms of style of play and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Yeah, 100%. And yes, I remember that Lanzini goal. Do you know what? That goals like that. I do want to see us actually take more shots like that. I mean, no, not necessarily from there, but just less walking it into the back of the net is what I want to see this season, because that frustrates me a little bit more. Having a go, the players, not for everyone, the players that are capable of that. Your Bowens, your Kuduses, players like that. Antonio, no, do not even think about it. And I definitely don't want to see our centre backs do it. We was at a Bournemouth game. Who was it that was on the ball? It might have been Kilman. And everyone was going.
Mavropanos, in it? Is it Mavropanos?
All the fans, like, he was like miles out. Going, shoo! I'm like, what? Shut up.
I know.
They just do it. They see him in an area. It doesn't matter who it is. Shoo! Like, shut up. Don't listen to these clowns. Honestly, like, I just don't see why fans do that. Just shoot. Like,
I know.
You know, I mean, if it was someone that's capable of it, like Kudus, and he's in the area, shoot. But Matt Powell says, I bet we use Alvarez as centre back. You know, I've seen a lot of talk of people going, Alvarez can play centre back. I need to see it. Like, to, you know, and to believe it. You know, you look at his qualities and he probably could, but I think it's still, I think, a slightly different job. Even though he's a defensive midfielder. My yellow tie. I haven't got my yellow tie. I don't know if you ever see this, Brian. It was very, very long time ago. I had the centenary shirt. I did a transfer deadline day transfer video. And I had the yellow tie over the centenary shirt. You know what? I wonder if I can find it. It was a monstrosity. I put it on Twitter. I have to find it, but everyone was just slating me for it. I thought, I'll do the yellow tie thing, bring a West Ham spin, yellow and claret does not go like at all.
So Dan, right? AC Milan they've signed Abraham on loan. Tammy Abraham, AC Milan have signed him.
So they've got him on loan. So maybe we could have got him on loan. I don't know. Maybe he seems to like it in Italy. I think he's actually speaks Italian now. I'm pretty sure. So that one. I'm not mad about that one, but it didn't seem like we was really that interested for him, really. So we just need to, if there's a striker out there that we can get on loan, then let's find a way. Let's get him in, like someone young, someone with energy, pace. The Guilherme signing, I don't know. I don't know what is up with that. We still didn't see him come on. 25 mil. I know he's not a striker, he's a winger, but I think he can play up top. And maybe that might be what we need.
Yeah. No, definitely.
You know, that's what I'd be interested to see. He could be our Duran. But it's good. Like obviously we're doing this live stream, so we can't stay as updated. So I appreciate all of you in the chat who are keeping us updated with the latest updates. Oh, geez, I found it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, geez. Right, let's share the screen on this. Then.
I need to see this.
What was that?
How many years ago was this, Dan?
This was 6 years ago. 6 years. Where is it? Window. There it is. Can't talk about bloody Carvalho. Carvalho, I don't know what I was saying. Sacco
Oh,
out bloody. That's how long ago that was. That Carvalho saga was painful.
For years.
Gomez, I don't know what Gomez that was. I don't remember any Gomez. And we got rid of Sacco. There you go. If you ever wondered what yellow and claret look like together, there you go. But I got so much stick for this.
That is true.
The tie, there you go. Someone likes it. The tie looks lovely. Loving the tie. I got Twitter roasted me, but YouTube, I think, was a lot more kind about the tie.
Yeah.
Finish out. Yeah, a lot of people was not happy with some of these signings, but there you go. Blast from the purpose. Stop this burst hurting my eyes. Second version of Sean Dyche. Why you wearing the yellow tie was like, I know it was a Sky Sports thing, wasn't it? What's his name? You said
Jim, like
Jim White.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was that was the idea. Like I was getting into the spirit of deadline day.
Yeah.
With the yellow tie. So a lot of people are Sean Dyche. I was like a young Sean Dyche. Yeah. Honestly,
could you imagine though, right? Picture this, right? So literally 10 minutes to go, don't look like nothing's happening, and we out the blue come out with some complete left field signing, and we go and sign Ivan Toney. Could you imagine that? Everything's gone quiet, and we turn around and then sort of stomp up some money. Like we undercut them as well, like 30 mil, and they just take it because they know they're going to lose him.
Yeah, that would be a madness. But I was seeing a stream earlier on Football Thursday. He's going to, unless we can still hijack it, he's going to Saudi.
Yeah.
And I think he went there for his medical and all of that. And you just think like it's so weird the Toney one, like how no Premier League clubs like seriously went for him.
Yeah.
I think his wage demands were excessive and it put clubs off.
Yeah.
And Saudi willing to pay it.
Yeah, that's mad. He's gonna get
that's the thing, but yeah. Don't go to bed, DG.
Yeah, Penny, I'm there, man. I'm there. Trust me. Just praying.
That transfer that's an all timer. Fucking David Gold. Don't go to bed. Eye emojis. Everyone's like, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly.
No one went to bed, and we was all tired and disappointed.
Oh,
you know. Josiah said, "Dan, when is the West Ham week coming back?" Well, that is a blast from the past. Yeah, I'm thinking about. Yeah, we did discuss it, bringing it back. So yes, watch this space. We're sort of trying to get the main shows consistent, and then I may bring it back. For those who don't know, it was like this show where I basically just rounded up the news of the week, but I have to find all the bloody graphics for it. I don't know why I'm going to, but it was so. If people are interested, and it's been annexed off YouTube, I'm afraid. West Ham week, yeah, and that. So I may, yeah, if people want to see it, but yeah, apparently YouTube the algorithms like, no, we don't. What is that? But yeah, so yeah, look out, Josiah. Yeah, we need one of these, Peter Odemwingie and Diafra Sacco, like doing his own flipping journey. Yeah, just going. So we need this drama, like this, the banter. There's not been enough banter on deadline day.
Nah, definitely. It has been a bit dry. This one has been a little bit more exciting, but people just trying to get them last minute deals over the line. I think for us, we've done some good business. If we look at it overall, players we've been in, we've brought in, we've got to be happy, really and truly. We've made like, is that double figure signing now, or is that 9 or 10 now, isn't it? We've brought in, which if you told me that, if you told me that the end of last season that we were going to bring in that amount of players, but the type of players we're bringing as well. I'd snap your hand off for that. Do you know what I mean? Because I think we have brought in some quality. I think it's about making it gel all together now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Like that's what. Yeah. Overall, I'm happy with our window. I think we've had a very good window on paper. On paper, we have to see. Obviously, we can only truly review the window once we bring this. Once we see how the signings perform, and it's OMG. Danny Ings is going before 12 o'clock. Is that real, or is that
just going to bed? That's all. Yes, that's
yeah.
the place to go.
Yeah, he's going to bed. It's DG. Yeah, what's
I haven't seen nothing with Ings.
The Ward-Prowse having his medical. Nothing concrete about Ings. Nothing concrete. So let us know. Can anyone corroborate that? Going to the bank. That is true, Reese. He is going straight to the bank. That's it. Check his millions that he's earned from sitting on the bench and jogging on the pitch. Good on him. You know what I mean? He's got himself a new hairdo. Good on him.
The promoted teams, yeah, as you said, I think they're starting to do some good business. Ipswich, as you mentioned, but Southampton as well, bringing in Ramsdale, and obviously looks like Cornet's going there as well. And I think he would do all right there. I think it's just been one of those things. It didn't work out for him. He had the opportunities in some respects, and in other respects he didn't. But one thing we can say about Cornet, he's kind of been professional about it. He hasn't thrown his toys out the pram. He hasn't moaned. He's just kind of got on with things in the background, hasn't he? So I'm glad he's got his move, and there's just been no sort of like badness around it. He's just kind of gone off and done his thing. Yeah,
that's it. Fair play. Fair play, and fair play to Rice, who donated the $5,000 to the under 14 keeper who's got the brain cancer at West Ham. David Sullivan donated $10,000. I see Snodgrass sharing it. He donated. He's still a hammer inside. I was saying I loved Snodgrass, like just the bloke, and I thought he was underrated for what he did at West Ham as a player, not saying he was one of our best, but I thought he was underrated. I thought he was a good player. So
really,
fair
really
play.
liked and respected as well in it by the team.
Yeah. 100%. I was there at Wimbledon. He was right in front of me when he fell over the photographer on the corner. But no, he's a top bloke. Snodgrass. So hopefully they get the donations they need. This is look, I found it. This is the West Ham week for anyone who wants to. So look, you see me there. I had the little clock, so you knew how long I was going to be waffling on about whatever, and
Love
then
that.
you would see when the timer ran out. Here we go.
You could see you watching the timer as well.
yeah, it would drop down. So that was my little thing. Your little picture up there. So that was whatever the top 3 stories were on a Friday. I'd be talking about that. This was pre-Friday Night Pint, and then when Friday Night Pint came along, it felt like now on Friday Night Pint we're talking about the stories. I look so young. Cheers. Thanks. But someone says, "Oh, look how young you look there." How dare you? My own mother as well.
I know.
But yeah. So that's when I just had that. I didn't have all that. But yeah. So deadline day. I think it's going to be some real late stuff. Afterwards, we're going to find out that we've let a couple players go. Like I think who will go, Cornet and Ward-Prowse definitely will go. Ings I'm 50-50 on. It's those are the ones I'm not sure about. Bringing in Soler looks like it's definitely going to happen. I'm hoping we can bring at least one more in.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's probably things going on in the background. Like you said, it's all based on what we can get out the door. If one of the defenders go, well, if Aguerd goes, if Ings goes, then I'm sure there's probably things going on in the background to bring people in. but it's just time's running out. That's the thing. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is one of them things. It starts to get that starts to get till the comments. Well, manscaped. Yeah. So no, it does. It does get really tight, really stressful as you're thinking about what we're going in, what we're bringing in, what we're doing, and yeah, it's a tricky one. What, you know, if we can get Aguerd out, like I said, we have to bring someone in, and so I don't know what is happening with Aguerd. You know, I'm just trying to refresh. I'm just in refresh mode, like on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, so this is for some reason my source. Oh, look, what's Borough said? What's Borough fan said? Everyone's laughing at what Borough fan said. Oh, that's what I read. Oh, the World Manscaped. That was Borough fan. Yeah. So, so yeah, like I said, it's just timeline refresher mode, but it doesn't look like much is going to happen. Like, damn, so we need more up front, but we just have not been able to get it. Like, if we could have got Ings, say we got rid of Ings and Cornet, we got rid of Zuma earlier, we'd sold a Ward-Prowse or a Souček. Like, imagine what more we could have brought in this transfer window. Like, with the business we've done without really selling much, you know, part of this whole like Flynn Downs. Imagine like what we would have been able to do, man. It would have been crazy.
100%. And as well, getting a dynamic striker with pace, someone who could turn, running behind, come short, play 1-2s and go, completely change the whole dimension of the way we play. And I think that is basically what we need. It's nice having full crew because then you've got that option. Two different, completely contrasting strikers. And I think that's kind of what we need is basically to be in a position where we've got that option where we can change games. But at the moment, it's tricky. I personally don't want to go back to moving Jared Bowen down the middle in order to kind of create that kind of fluidity. I don't want to go back to that person.
You're anti-Bowen up top.
Yeah, man, I am. The benefits of it is that it would allow Kudus to go in his better position, and it would also allow there to be some flexibility. Whoever the front three are, they can move around and stuff. But I just feel you're taking something away from Bowen's game. If you're playing a physical side as well, you know, Bowen can hold his own because he's got good, like quite good ball retention. He uses his body really well. But I just think you lose something when you do that, as being like the main thing that we do. I don't really want to go back to that. I'd rather have someone who is the main striker and then just have Bowen out there. Me personally, I want to see Kudus in the middle. I want to see him play 10. I wouldn't even mind, say like with tomorrow's game, which we'll talk about later, I wouldn't even mind doing a little something when we play with a false 9 and then have Kudus as a false 9 and just load it around those players like a Bowen, maybe Somerville, but it might. I think a game like tomorrow for Somerville is not right. He ain't got the physique for it. He'll get swallowed up, I feel, for a game like tomorrow if he were to start. But yeah, I really want to see what Kudus can do in that 10 position. So he has the ability to dart runs left or right. I find when he plays on the left-hand side, he mainly wants to provide rather than go for goal himself. So you kind of lose a bit of edge and dynamism from him when he is on that side. But I don't want to see Bowen down the middle, man. Not as like the main option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not as the main. I think it can work. Like, can be an option, but yeah, I hear you. It's not plan A. Apparently, according to Santi, I don't know how to ever say his name, but he's one of the ITKs, I think, on the Twitters. He said, full agreement almost reached between West Ham and Real Sociedad for Naya Aguerd. Loan fee of around €2 million plus bonuses. No option to buy included. Aguerd is already okay. I think that's player terms agreed. Some details are missing. So still trying to iron that out. There's no obligation or anything. Like, I get it. Like the option, all of that, it means that if he does well, we can get a bidding war, right? That's the benefit. The downside is if he does okay, he doesn't do great, they can just you can have him back and then we're stuck with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah,
a lot of these players we're loaning out, it helps us in the short term get their wages off the books, maybe get a little cheeky loan fee in. But long term, it could cause us issues next season if we just get them all back and we can't get rid of them. And then we just have to loan them out again. I mean, I guess it's better than just having them, soaking up wages, like doing nothing. The very least you're getting that. But if you can get it, we should be able to get transfer fees. Like Aguerd, like he was so highly rated when we signed him. There was talks of us getting 25 million euros for him. And now it's a loan fee of, I don't know what happened with that.
It's a madness. It's a madness. And like you said earlier on, if it's one that happens, it happens. But then if nothing happens for him, I wouldn't be mad at that and just keeping him as a backup. But it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the business that we're doing, where we're just losing hella value on some of these players that we've bought historically. And it's happened for a long time. We never really get good business when we're releasing players and letting players go. Other than, say, like Flynn Downs, we got good money for him, and that was really good business. But then you could go as far back as a few seasons, 3, 4, 5 seasons ago, and we're losing millions on loads of players. Felipe Anderson, there's a whole list of players you could name where we've lost a bucket load of money on players, and it's just bad business all round.
Yeah, that's it. And if we're going to, for the interest of long-term sustainability, if we're going to be competitive in this window season after season, we have to do better. We have to be getting players in who can have a resale value that we can sell and try and get fees. We need to look at it from a business perspective. Like, I don't know how Chelsea do what they do in the window. It is crazy. I mean, I kind of do. I mean, a lot of it's kind of corruption. Like they've signed that keeper for like, I don't know what it was, like 15 million from their sister club. I don't know if it was Saint Etienne or someone. Have him for his season, have him play 26 minutes, and then sell him back to that club for a profit. Like, how is his value increased?
Exactly.
Like, it's dodgy.
Mad. Very
how comes they doing it? How comes no one else is doing it? I know not everyone has a sister club. Newcastle do. They've been allowed to do that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Why can't Man United do that with Nice? Like, but it's weird, like how they're able to do these things. They sign all these players and then like sign loads of goalkeepers, sell them for profits, and I don't know, man. We need to look into that. Obviously, we've done some of their tactics with the long-term contract thing. We started doing that this season because it spreads the cost of the contract out of the set of the purchase. So Josiah hates Chelsea. He's just like, Chelsea are crap. Well said, Josiah. But to be fair, they're not crap at cheating because they're doing very good at it. Matt Powell says, I've got a question for you. Why does Nicky think Danny Ings will be good this season? Oh yeah, that was something. I don't think it's based on anything. I think Nicky, he just gets an idea in his head sometimes. He just gets a thought. He just gets something just pops his head like, Ings is the one. Ings is going to be good. And he just runs with it based off of just nothing, just a gut feeling. That's what everything is, gut feeling of him.
He loved Danny Ings. He wanted Danny Ings to come to the club years before, innit? And then when it happened, it was a little bit of a surprise and he was excited. And then I can remember on the podcast, Nicky slating Danny Ings. And then obviously had that game against Sheffield United when he played in the 10, right? And then, I don't know, something happened there. Like Nicky thought,
that was it. It's a revelation. Ings in the 10. It's just it. The next Mesut Ozil has arrived. Fire is back.
Yeah,
Buy it reborn. England
exactly.
it was like one game or something in the cup or some Europa conference game or something, wasn't it? And it was like, no, it's what we need to be doing. I wish he was on so I could bloody roast him about that. But yeah, we do need to get. I need to talk to Nicky. Get Brian a West Ham Fan TV post. It's a post. Like,
so you know what it is, Penny. Basically, I had one and I left it at the sports bar in Canary Wharf. I remember, like, when we did it for the
last
final
season.
Yeah, at the end of the season, we did that post-match pint there, and Nicky bought loads, and it had the box.
Oh yeah, we gave you one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I had one, and I left without it, so I have to get another one.
Well, yeah, you get another one. We're there tomorrow. Are you on post-match pint tomorrow? Are you
50-50 at the moment.
Well, if you are, well, when we go there, we'll ask them anyway if they found it. If they picked up the pint glass. So yeah, we'll find out. So yeah, no, that's it. So we'll do good. So yeah, so post-match pint, we are doing that tomorrow before the international break. But yeah, look, I can't see anything groundbreaking. I hope we do. I hope we get a big surprise. It's gonna happen. We're gonna end this stream, and all the big stories are gonna happen. Like West Ham have signed Duran. Man, listen. Oh, what's this? Zuma's just signed his contract to Al Araba. Contract valid until June 2026. Loan with option for French centre. It's a 2-year loan.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
So Zuma's gone on a 2-year loan deal. Are we paying half the wages still?
That's what I want to know. It's about the wages. That's what I want to know.
So how long was his bloody contract? Because I want to know when that ran out. What was it? I still can't believe he's only 29. Jeez.
I know. I would have loved to have seen that medical, man. I would love to have seen what it consisted of.
His contract expires next year. So how are they loaning him for 2 years?
Don't make sense, man. Must be fake news.
Who was it? Wait a minute. Who was that who reported that? That's that Santi guy.
Right.
Journalist. Yeah, I mean, he's how is he contract valid until 2026? It's a loan with the option for the French. So is the option for the year? Yeah. Everyone's asking the same thing. How can you sign a contract until 2026 if the buy clause is optional? Yeah.
Don't make sense.
Yeah, let's hope a more because I saw that. I was like, oh, is he? We've actually sold him like for a fee. But I was these clubs are so minted, yeah. And I know, like, oh, well, you can't expect them to just do your check, but they're so minted. Like, and they're like, oh, we'll pay half his wages. Like, what? Like, we couldn't even get them to pay the wages and just take him on loan. Like, these clubs have so much money.
Definitely.
Zuma, are you breathing? Yeah, medical done.
Yeah. Would you? Here's a fight. Would you take Eddie Nketiah? It looks like he's going to Crystal Palace, but if that was something that came around, what would your thoughts be on him?
Loan or nothing. Like he just is terrible at burying chances. And you saw how little we've been creating so far for Fulkrug. Like the little chances he'd get, you would expect him to be super, super clinical. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about you, like, but yeah, I wouldn't be with him.
He's a no from me. I wouldn't even take him on loan. I'll be honest with you, because I don't think he would add any value to the starting lineup, and that's what it is for me. Anyone we bring in, for me, it's got to be someone that can come in and influence the team straight away. Unless we're talking centre backs, I think we want to be in a position where if we play with a flat back four, you want it to be Kilman to be, hopefully going forward. But then there are going to be games we play a 3, so therefore there's an option there. I know Mavropanos has had a good start to the season, but I've never fancied him, man. I think the games he's played this season have been the best he's played, in my opinion. for us. I've bar 1 or 2 last season, mainly the away game against Arsenal. But I'm not a Mavropanos fan just because he's got at least one mistake in him.
We see it against Bournemouth. Like, we're sitting there like, oh yes, Mavropanos. Next thing, it's like, oh my god, like, what is he doing? Like, he managed to get back in the end, but it's just, I just don't know where. I don't know how you coach that out of a player. That just harebrainedness. The bozo gene, as some people call it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know lack of concentration. I don't think you can. I think top teams just kind of like they sniff it out straight away in a player, and they're like they just offload them. Do you know what I mean? Because it's when you're at that top level, you can't afford to have that. You remember, like, it's not like he's a player whereby he's making mistakes by trying to create opportunities. You remember when John Stones first broke through? So he went from Everton to Man City, and he used to step out. He used to take a lot of high risk stuff, and sometimes get wrong and then leave the team in jeopardy. It's not like Mavropanos is doing anything like that. It's just literally a lapse of concentration. Like Reese is saying in the chat, Diop, same kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? He will make that kind of mistake.
Diop was valued at like 50 million in one period from Man United. Like, Mourinho called him a monster, and now he's like not even first choice at Fulham. Like, it's just, I don't know if he's still at Fulham. I think he's still at Fulham, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still at Fulham. Had all the tools that you need for a quality centre back, and he just lack of concentration.
Oh, here we go. Jadon Sancho to Chelsea, loan deal with obligation to buy. So that looks like that's I just don't get Chelsea Football Club. Like, how many football players do you want? How many do you want? Where are all these guys playing?
It just don't make sense.
The bench ain't big enough. Like, I'm looking at like what we've done in our squad, right? And I'm thinking, oh damn, like some of our signings ain't even making the bench. Like, you're looking at like where's Guilherme? Where's this player? Where's Aguerd's not on there? Yeah. How are they getting anyone on the coach, let alone the bench?
Yeah, exactly. You
know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a mad one. I mean, do you see him? I mean, it's fucking unrelated, but it's the only big news that we've got to talk about right now. But Sancho, do you fancy that as working out? Or
no, like Sancho's one of those players where I never really saw firsthand what the hype was all about. I've never really said anything that makes me think, you know what I mean, wow, he's a special player. And, you know, it never worked out for him at Man United for whatever reason, the clash of manager, etc. Unfortunately, he's been painted as the player, like, with bad egg within the team, etc. Maybe going to Chelsea is good for him, a fresh start, but I don't understand, as you said, Chelsea's strategy. They have a hell of a lot of wingers as it is already. Their squad's already inflated. They're moving out Sterling, and then they're bringing in Sancho. It just, to me, it don't make sense, especially if they're trying to sort of like lessen the wage bill and all that sort of stuff. They don't really need anyone in that position. Chelsea need a centre forward. That's what they need. Do you know what I mean? So
they can have Danny Ings.
Oh man, definitely.
Come on, listen, Chelsea. Come on, it makes sense. Danny Ings, goal scorer, everywhere. I don't get why they don't even look at Danny Ings. Come on, loan deal, something. They're not going to get Osterman. They're not getting Ivan Toney.
Nah,
a late Danny Ings deal. In fact, we could do a swap deal if we're going to get Chukwuemeka. Take Danny Ings, swap deal. I'd do that all day long. You know what I mean? So
Napoli are making some interesting signings because they've signed McTominay,
Who signed him?
Napoli, and now they're trying to sign Billy Gilmore. It's just
bloody hell.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's no disrespect to them players, but I don't. I know my.
When you think of Napoli, like, that's not the sort of players you think of.
Nah, I don't get it. But
yeah, like, weird one. But yeah, I'm trying to get updates on this Zuma deal because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense to me how he's signed. We've got a 2-year loan deal when his contract runs out next year. So if anyone's got any updates on the Danny Ings, not Danny Ings, fucking Danny Ings on the brain, Zuma situation, because I don't know. Ryan Fraser's left the Newcastle and gone back to Southampton.
Interesting.
It's on 70k a week, Ryan Fraser. Bloody hell.
It's mad.
Rich was eating his curry. You're forgiven, Rich. Hope you enjoyed it. Another striker, not Abrams. It's tight. Like, I haven't heard anything concrete. Like, since since the Duran thing sort of died, I ain't really seen any concrete links to strikers. That little Tammy Abrahams rumor that I never took seriously, but like nothing concrete. I just don't think much out there.
I don't think nothing's going to happen, to be honest with you. I just feel because we ain't letting anyone go by the looks of it in a striker position, I can't see no one coming in.
Yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully, we've got enough. Like, we've got depth all around. Bowen is going to be our main source of goals this season, I think, followed by Kudus. Hopefully, Full Crew can chip in. I say nobody can chip in. He's our bloody main striker now. Give a few goals. So that's it now. We just have to see. But the fact that we've loaned out all of our promising youngsters is a bit disappointing as well, because we haven't got that excitement of maybe this youngster's going to break out this season. That's a disappointment for this window.
It is, and I remember saying a few weeks back that I kind of wished a few of them stayed, but that was from a selfish point of view. I think in some respects it's good for them, their personal development going out on loan, but I understand what you're saying. It is kind of a shame that none of them are sort of staying to kind of break through. It's interesting. What do you think about the whole George Irvie thing? Because he's, I think there's been offers coming in for him, and he said he wants to fight for his place.
Yeah. What, George? You mean Andy Irving?
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently Celtic were interested in him, and he said he wants to fight for his place. And it's a weird one. I know, he got this weird pre-season hype, and I think part of it was ironic hype, Andy Irving.
Yeah.
But then there was a part of it where he was actually looking like one of our best players in pre-season. He was balling.
Yeah.
So I was really wanting to see more of him. But I don't know. If the club sees some value in him and say, well, there is a place to fight for, otherwise just tell him there ain't no place, mate. There's no point. You're wasting your time. So maybe there's something there. I hope he gets an opportunity and shows what he can do, because it looked like he had potential. So the updates here is 1 hour. So good old Alan, I can never fucking remember. We had him on here with him went after Nicky accused him of bestiality, falsely accused him. Alan Mjepi. But shout out to him, great guy. The updates. So Zuma's done. Ward-Prowse medicals. Cornet apparently 99% done. Aguerd paperwork completed. Soler done, awaiting confirmation. Chukwuemeka, we're in extensive talks. Disasi / Badiashile inquiry has been sent. Duran ? So there could be some surprises. There could be some moves behind the scenes.
Villa have got no reason to sell him now.
Yeah, they haven't. Not really. But unless the only reason would be is if we paid a fee, we loaned him with an obligation of a serious fee that's going to help them with their FFP profit and sustainability, that then they can go and get the striker they want either in January or in the next summer. So there's that. But it's tight, but there could be many I don't know what do you call it, irons in the fire, or many pots stove, or many many things in play at the same time. With Tim Steidten, never rule it out. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get all these players on his jet, like all these different clubs, but I think that's it is. It's what can we do? Like I said, Ultra's angry we haven't signed another striker. Hopes Fulkrug stays fit, otherwise Antonio up front yet another season. Yeah, it is mad. Like, we've just been so shit at signing strikers. That's all it is. We're just terrible. Yeah. If Fulkrug worked, this is why there's nothing against Fulkrug, and I'm not writing him off. I have no faith through nothing of him.
Yeah.
Just our track record. Like, I have no hopes for Fulkrug. I'm numb to strikers now. You know what I mean? We could sign like prime Lewandowski, and I wouldn't be excited because of my track record. So that's what it comes down
to. Katie's comment there, she thinks Somerville could score a few goals. I think that too. I think if he gets like a run of games, or he gets opportunities in certain games, especially at home, I think he could be effective. He had a big chance the other day. He just lacked a bit of composure. That was a big moment for him.
Oh, mate. That would have been an incredible goal. The play, and that was classic Lopetegui. Like, that was his style, his play. Like, pass, move, boom. You know what I mean? Yeah. That quick bang, bang, bang. Like, you're through.
Yeah.
That's Lopetegui all over. So that would have been a beautiful goal. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But, I think he can do well. More game time, get confidence up, learn that composure and, bang in some goals. But, I think I have this feeling we're in for a surprise. I can't tell you what it is because it's a surprise. But I feel something's going to happen in this window. There's stuff moving. We've got the personnel to do the business. So we'll see. We could get Haaland and he would go on a dry spell and we'd loan him out. Yeah, like we are just cursed. Like, this is what I was saying to on this other stream earlier to these Man United fans. And he was like, you're so gassed about Wan-Bissaka. Like, I've never seen you so happy. And I'm like, you don't understand. We've been cursed at right back. Like, it's been a cursed position for years. Like, Soufal's been decent. Like, he's been good. But other than that, like, I most of my life, we've never had a right back as good as Wan-Bissaka. Like, that I think of. Most of my life. Like, you have to go back to the 90s, probably.
Yeah.
You'd have to go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been that position's been that cursed for us. So to see the things that Wan-Bissaka's done, like in these short appearances, I know like Bournemouth, he was left back, but still, like you're like, that guy's going to be playing right back doing those things, his natural position.
I was impressed. He approached it with big game like a big club mentality, didn't he? He like that's sort of like how he presented himself, and I like that, man. I really do. I like and I think sometimes that sort of like it spreads on. It's infectious, isn't it, to other players around you? When you get someone that plays at a good high level, when we've had that in the past, whether it's been Payet, like everyone's level sort of goes up 10-20% because of the things that he's doing and stuff like that. And I hope it has that kind of effect, particularly that's one of the areas in the team that I've been impressed with, because we basically transformed the back line, right? If you take out Mavropanos, we've basically, brought in a couple of centre backs and a right back. So, that's arguably one of the areas that's been a bit better so far this season. It's just been the midfield for me and getting that continuity and that connection right.
Jenkins, I don't know whether I mean, at the time when in that first season, it was like Jenkinson, he's good, like he's a good right back. But in hindsight, you look at it like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think he only looked so good because what he was replacing, Joey O'Brien. Like, No disrespect to Joey O'Brien, but
good servant. Yeah.
We had like Joey O'Brien, like Gary O'Neill, those type of players. So like, in relation to those players, he looked great. But in hindsight, and what has he gone on to do since? He was a great goalkeeper though. Kept a clean sheet when he come on.
The injuries, man.
Yeah, it's mad. I don't even know where he is now. Zabaleta was a good option.
A good servant,
good servant. He was solid, but he was past his prime, had no pace. I remember that game against Newcastle. This is when I went Pellegrini out. That game against Newcastle where St. Maximum just fucking destroyed him.
Yeah.
And then we decided, you know what? We've got a 35-year-old right back. Let's go get like a 38-year-old left back and sign Patrice Evra and play in both at Anfield. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That was Demel. I liked Demel, but again,
he was decent.
But he's not like Wan-Bissaka good.
No.
Where you're looking at your right back and you're like, oh my god, that's brilliant. Like you just get excited about the right back.
Yeah.
So
for Wan-Bissaka, it's just his ability, his recovery rate as well. Really good. Just recovery rate, marking. Yeah, he's really good.
That last ditch tackle he made against Bournemouth was just unbelievable. Like I thought they're scoring it. This is a goal. So that was quality. But it looks like we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for some of these Razford. All these names coming out. Razford Rat. Do you know what? Like I remember back in the day, I used to go on what's the News Now, West Ham News Now. Yeah, I used to look at all it, and I used to get excited about anyone we were signing. Like I didn't know anything about them. Oh, Razford, this place. We've signed this place from Mexico. He must be good. And that is, and then they'd all just flop. Wow, I just thought every player we signed when I was younger was just going to be great, and I was taught a harsh lesson.
We're all the same. We're all the same in that one.
Yeah. So now it's hard to get hyped. But so back to this. Do you know what? Before this, something about Chelsea. I just see something about Chelsea. We made the Europa Conference League look easy. People watched us in that competition and said Luton could win that. Huddersfield could win that. My Nan could win that. But what's happened?
Still
Aston
waiting.
Villa, Leicester, Spurs.
Yep.
Yeah. All didn't win it. And now Chelsea, they narrowly scraped qualification, lost 2-0 to Serviette, right? We went unbeaten.
That's right.
We only drew one game. So put some respect.
100%.
Put some respect on our name. Like, mate, people thought it was so easy. And then it's like, well, we didn't try. We didn't take it seriously. Villa put out like their full strength team against Olympiacos and lost 2-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see the players they had on the pitch for Chelsea? £1 billion Chelsea.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer was playing. Madueke was playing. Like Jackson. Like, come on. Oh, we're not. And they've got this super squad now. Like, we rotated in that competition. We didn't play our first 11 all the way through the comp.
No.
And now
you're right.
We're supposed to Chelsea.
But that's now you're right though. People will realize eventually. I think this will be the season as well. Chelsea should blow teams away, but again, I don't think they'll win it personally. So it'll be another season where,
if they don't win it, man, with this £1 billion squad, there is not a Chelsea fan alive that can hide from me. I'm telling you that now. Right? If they don't, boy,
it's true.
Honestly, all of this, anyone could win. No, it's piss easy. Like, no English team other than us has been able to do it.
Yeah.
Between them, they've all had 10 losses between them. We've had 0 losses in that comp. I'm not hearing we didn't take it seriously. We didn't take no. So yeah, teams are going to fight. If Chelsea, I said, if Chelsea don't win it, oh, that would be beautiful. I would love it. The £1 billion squad that I'm hearing is good enough to challenge and all of this. And boy, but yeah, just on the cup draws, yeah, obviously they've got the new format. I don't know if I'm crazy about the new European format, the league system. It just looks like it's made it long, but they've. Yeah, obviously because of this, they've made it so teams in Europe, in Europa League and Champions League, can't face each other. So, like, a lot of people are outraged, including myself, thought it was a disgrace because you just guarantee and they get an easier draw, and some of them are guaranteed to get home draws. I don't think this was the only way they could have done this. It certainly wasn't the best way. Like, I think it's poor.
Yeah. It definitely weren't the best way. And I think, you know, people kind of cottoned on to it a bit late. Do you know what I mean? After the situation when the draw was made for the Carabao, and it's because it's the same, innit? Like the same format is being used across the competition. So, yeah, it don't make sense to me. It was just typical, innit? It was our luck as well. To be drawn out against Liverpool. I mean, how many times have we played Liverpool now in that competition, man? It must be a lot, you know.
So
but yeah, it just had a bitter taste in my mouth after that, man. The game was dry as it was already. To then get drawn out to Liverpool, I just thought, oh, what the heck, man.
Yeah, it's one of them. Like, it's just. Yeah, so disappointing, like, because I did have high hopes for this competition. Like, you know, like, again, this is a different manager. Maybe something different will happen. But, yeah, you don't have high hopes going to Anfield. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I think it's a joke, this whole, oh, yeah, we've got to, like, you know, protect them because of the fixtures and all of that sort of stuff. Like, no, like, just make them play each other earlier or something like that. Like, do something. There's something they could have done. But yeah, the league format in the Champions League, I just think it just longs out the group stages essentially. Like, everyone's got to play more games. So I don't know, hopefully Liverpool get tired and that. So yeah, we'll see. But look, I'm gonna stay up and check the goings on. We're gonna keep up to date with it. But at the moment, it's all looking quiet. It's all looking very quiet. Soler looks to be coming in. So another addition. You happy with that? Happy with Soler?
Yeah, definitely. We need someone to get hold of the ball in the middle of the park, create patterns of play, be comfortable, glue up the midfield and the players in advancing positions. I think it would be good, basically. He's a good technical player as well. So with him and Paquetá and whoever else in the middle, I just think it'll put us in a position where we could control games. I'm very interested to see who's going to drop out because he's definitely not coming in to be a bench player. He's going to start. So I'm very curious to see who's going to drop out first and foremost, and then the system as well. I don't believe we're going to play the same system that we're playing currently if he comes into the team. I really don't think it's as straightforward as swapping him for Souček and then playing the same system. I think there'll be a system change personally. So I'm really interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. We were the only London club to win a cup last season. Well, I guess it's the season before last now, and it, geez, that goes quick. Did any London club win a cup last season? No, they didn't, did they? Man United won the FA Cup, Liverpool won the Carabao.
Yeah.
London is claret and blue.
That's right.
There you go. London's claret and blue. So listen, we'll leave it there. We'll keep up. An hour's going to transfer window. Let's hope we do something. Yes. But yeah, thank you, Brian, for joining me tonight. Thank you. Because if you didn't turn up, I would have been on my own. So yeah, honestly. But yeah, we'll quickly answer this question. May I miss you boys chatting about it, but do you think But why do you think we have not gone for another striker? I love Antonio and like full Krug, but think we need someone dynamic to switch things up, i.e. Duran. I think it's just because we haven't been able to move on Ings. I think that's what it comes down to.
It is as simple as that. And as I said, I think earlier on, I was saying basically, Ben, if there could have been negotiations going on in the background in terms of trying to get someone out and get someone in, but doesn't look like that's going to happen tonight. So unfortunately, we're going to have to make do with what we got.
Yeah, 100%. So listen, thank you all for joining us. Super chats and other chats and all the chats, everyone in the comments. Thank you for interacting with us tonight. Be back for Man City game, fan cams, instant match reactions, post-match pint, all of that. And the audio will be better. Here, I see all your comments. I read your comments. Everyone was on our necks. Yeah, about that audio. Listen.
If only you knew, guys.
But we're going to be in a room. We're going to be in a room that's so away from all the music. So we shouldn't have the same problems. So the audio should be. That's it. I shot myself in the foot now. But yeah, if it's not, then write in the comments and tell us how terrible we are. But no, we appreciate the feedback. So thank you. Have a great weekend, and let's hope we get something tomorrow. And one thing left to say: come on, you irons. Oh.